But remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
For 5 days now, teachers in Kaduna State have been on strike, demanding that the state government rescind its decision to sack thousands of their colleagues in the state. Now, as part of measures to force the state government's hands, organized labor under the umbrella of the Nigerian Labour Congress and, of course, NUT staged a protest in Kaduna yesterday. Our correspondent, Austin Ayebe, gives us this report before we bring in our guests to discuss the issues arising.
The protest rally convened by Nigerian Labour Congress in solidarity with the teachers and other workers pensioned for sack in Kaduna State took place amidst tight security. Tag Occupy Kaduna, Labour Union leaders from different sectors and states were at the stage rally at the NLC Secretariat in Kaduna, led by the President, Nigerian Labour Union, Comrade Aibawaba. They took turn to condemn the action of the governor, saying the disengagement by his administration is not in line with the international labor laws and at the same time at variance with the APC agenda for Nigerians.
We are fighting and defending the right of 36,000 workers and their family that are being disengaged from Kaduna State. The last time we are here, we are talking of only 21,000 teachers.
President Buhari has not sacked workers. It's very, very important. So you cannot say you are supporting President Buhari and you are indirectly opposite.
They said while reforms are critical for development, such should be evolved in conformity with the rule of law, of which he is violating the order given by the National Industrial Court.
Nigerian Labour Congress is not happy with the anti-labor practices so far upheld in this state, and we are resisting it through this protest.
Protesters marched to Government House to register their grievances. They were received by the councillor to the governor on media.
He's not around. He knows their presence. He knows their importance. So he asked me, one of the most senior person in the Government House now, to come and receive them, which I did. After listening to their grievances, which we all knew about their grievances, mine is to deliver a message to the governor. What they were asking, based on what the chairman or the president of NLC Wabara told me, they're still asking the governor to have feelings of coming back to the table again, to listen to them and settle this issue amicably.
To ensure the safety of all in the state, security operatives were mobilized en masse to forestall any breach of the peace.
Thank you very much, Austin Ayebe. Now joining us to discuss the teacher strike in Kaduna State. Right there in Kaduna studio, we have Shehu Othman Sani, is a principal member, Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB. Thank you for joining us on the program. Good morning. Okay, also seated beside you there in the studio is Comrade Ango Adomu, is the Secretary of the Nigerian Union of Teachers at Kaduna State Chapter. Well, gentlemen, welcome you to the program.
All right, let's begin with the member of the Kaduna State SUBEB, that's Shehu Othman Sani. Madam Shehu, you saw what happened yesterday in Kaduna. The capital was obviously paralyzed by the demonstration and the protest led by the NLC. Is this what the state government envisaged in taking the decision to fire 21,000 teachers?
Well, good morning, viewers. Actually, we expected something more than that, of course, but thank God it has stopped at that level. We know teachers and other unions were mobilized from neighboring states to come to Kaduna to participate in the so-called demonstration. But the important thing we need to know here is that teachers in Kaduna State are not in support of this strike, and they all go to their schools to teach, even though some of the members of the NUT go around to harass and dismiss these teachers. I think, well, they know why they are doing that.
A colleague, Blessing, earlier introduced them, Comrade Ango Adamo, who is the Secretary of the NUT, that's the Nigerian Union of Teachers Kaduna State chapter. Comrade, what is your response to that? They say that the teachers are not in support of what's going on, and that instead you're trying to break the resolve of your colleagues who want to go back to the classroom to teach.
Thank you very much. And for everything we are doing, we have to be physical, and we have to say it as it is. As far as we are concerned, if what the government is saying is anything to go about, schools will have been booming. In fact, I want to tell him that we have met severally with government, and it is not that NUT is a strike monger. It's because that government refused to see and to act within the confines of the law. And the only available means for us to use as a labor organization is the last resort, that is to go on strike. And we have it under our labor laws that picketing is allowed, that even going to school to even chase these teachers is part of the labor laws, and it is there enshrined in our own labor laws. So it is not a crime when you go and say, we are under this, we are doing this not for us. We are not doing this because we want to paint the government black. We are not doing this because we are just for the fun of it. We are doing it because a fundamental issue has not been taken serious by the government. A government that does not respect constituted laws and in the land cannot even sit down and tell anybody that, yes, what we are doing is illegal. For instance, there is an injunction, Kaduna State has been served, that nothing should be done as far as this teacher's issue is concerned until the determination of the substantive suit at the National Industrial Court. But the Kaduna State government went ahead, backdated letters, and start serving. Then what can Kaduna State government come and say when you are already a disrespecter of law? We are doing it because the law has given us that. And we have served Kaduna State with an ultimatum. And the ultimatum was open. We said any day the Kaduna State government serves any teacher with a disengagement letter or sack letter, that day will be the day we will start our strike. And we have made it clear. The letters are there. That the Kaduna State government, the person, my brother sitting beside me here, knows that we have done that. And there is no channel, up to the extent that we have gone to meet with the Minister of Labor on 2 occasions. And there was an agreement that we should write a letter to the Kaduna State government stating that this is how we want this to be settled amicably. As I'm speaking to you, that letter has not been replied, despite the fact that we have given the minister a copy and he promised to follow it up. So what we are doing is actually trying to address the issue the way it comes. Kaduna State government should respect the rules and regulations guiding any organization, inclusive that of teachers. We are not saying Kaduna State has no right to recruit teachers. By the saying that we will dismiss 21 and recruit 25, they have the right to recruit 25,000 teachers. But what we are saying, the law of the land or the law of civil service, there is a rules and regulation guiding disengagement. And what has Kaduna State government done? Have they done what is expected? And these teachers, in any standards, we have met severally, and he knows it. It's only that we don't know what is the agenda of Kaduna State government and what is Kaduna State government trying to achieve by sending 21,780 teachers to the streets. There are teachers who, if you send them out of work, and we said it in our letter, teachers who have no business, teachers who are not professionals, send them away. But teachers who have scored from 60 and above should be allowed to be trained and retrained. And there's no end to learning. Government of Kaduna State have been doing its own propaganda, saying that these teachers have been trained and that they have found not to be trained, that they are not trainable. There is no one in the world that will tell us we are all educationists. There are authorities who knows education. I'm only a graduate and a teacher for almost 20 years, and I know in education there is no end to it. And if you train and retrain, definitely there is a change. What we mean by learning is when there is change in behavior, then learning must have taken place. But you cannot just come and condemn and say these teachers are not trainable, they are irredeemable, and then say you are now bringing. And the irony of it all, the 25,000 teachers you are now bringing, the Kaduna State is recruiting, are they from the moon? They pass through all these universities and colleges of education that the teachers that they are sacking passes. So what are they trying to do? Are they specially trained before they are recruited? Even the exams that they gave them, we are aware of the fact that most of them will not even make it. So the issue of even cut-off mark of examination, Kaduna State government has gone out of all standards for them to say that anybody who has not scored 75, no matter how highly low or low-rated examination is that. And what we are saying is Kaduna State has painted the teachers of Kaduna State black as incompetent in the face of the world, which is not true, because as it is, Kaduna State is still #1 in the north and 12th in the country. Yesterday there was a program in NTA. The coordinator said that if Kaduna State in the whole north is the first that is being branded that their teachers are unqualified, then what are they going to do to other states? What we are saying, we are not politicians, we are not politicizing this, and we are not saying Kaduna State should not sanitize education, but the rule of law and due process should be followed.
Comrade Adamu, now while your members are out there on the streets, who are those in the classrooms? It's the first week or second week of resumption, first week of resumption for students across the nation. What happens to the pupils?
The issue is that we didn't take the decision to go on strike until Kaduna State government refuses to even listen to us. And what they are saying that some teachers are in the classroom, you take what we call the statistics. How many teachers are in the classroom? And you can send your people to go to the schools and take a sample of the teachers the Kaduna State government are saying are in the classroom. How many are they compared to those who are staying at home? We are not interested in afflicting pains to the parents and to the pupils we are teaching, but we are pushed to the world. And a government that will come out and say that we have done it, no going back. I don't think it is right for any democratically elected leader to come out and say plainly that nobody can send him back, not even the constituted laws that we have, not even the court's injunction, and not any other thing. The other thing we are saying is if this thing must be done, let us come back and look at the whole thing holistically. And we said as educationists, teachers are a problem, but is it sacking these teachers? Will it go along? Will it solve the problem of education in Kaduna State? Certainly not. There are areas that need to be touched, and teacher quality is one aspect. What about the other qualities? The issue of education is beyond sacking. It's beyond you just cutting off marks, and it's beyond you bringing always talking on the media and saying you have done this, you have done. What you are supposed to do is what is on ground. What have you met, and what have you done to improve it? The issue of training and retraining, he will know. Anybody who has God in his mind, who fears God, will know that since the coming of this government, it is only donor agencies, DFID, SPIN, that has been doing the training. I will quote the late commissioner, may his gentle soul rest in peace. He said, he challenged us in 2016. He said, we have money in the budget for retraining and retaining, but you people are not applying to be even trained. I say, as a teacher, must I apply before I am trained? So these are issues. They are just not coming out to tell the citizens or to tell Kaduna State citizens the reality on ground.
All right, that's Comrade Adamu. We'll come back to you. Of course, just seated beside you there is Othman Sani. That's the principal member of the State Universal Basic Education Board. Malam Othman Sani, your board is the formal employer of teachers in Kaduna as elsewhere in other parts of the country. Why did your board proceed with issuing the termination letters to some 21,000 teachers as alleged, in spite of a valid court injunction?
Well, these letters have been written, signed, long before the pronouncement of the court injunction, which we have not seen any anyway. We've just been hearing about that. The letters had been issued, so I think it was late for them to have gone to the court. And why going to the court at this time now? He has mentioned it. We have been on the table negotiating for the way forward on this issue. He has said it. We were in Abuja with the Minister of Labor. Even His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, was there himself. He explained the reasons why the government has decided to take this action. And the negotiation is still on. We have not finished. We have not gone to any reasonable level. And I don't know why they decided to go to the court this time around. And even after going to the court, they took the streets. They are attempting to close our schools. Why? Can they be patient and wait for the results of these negotiations? I think they are too eager to achieve something. That they are something. I don't know what they want to achieve, and they are sponsoring people to come and disrupt the normal activities in this on our streets. So I think they are not being fair to themselves. They are not being fair to the parents of these innocent people. The children are in what the government has in mind. The innocent children must be taught, and these teachers are not qualified. And since they are not qualified, they can't be on our payroll. We can't continue with them. They have been tested. They have been proven that they cannot deliver. Trainings have been going on, and he's saying donor agencies, donor agencies come in quite all right, like the SPN and the TDP. They come in. What they do is they train the trainers, and that is all they do. The government every year release nothing less than 300 million for this training. We have the evidences, they know it. And we train teachers, we train head teachers for administration, we train teachers in pedagogy, we train teachers in lesson preparation, we train them on so many aspects of teaching. But still, if you go to the schools, pick any child, ask him any question, he won't be able to answer you. He won't be able to answer you. What is happening? It was the fault of the teacher that they are not teaching well. They can't teach. Look at the questions asked. The questions asked during the examination was primary 4 questions. Teacher teaching in the primary school, claiming to have graduated from primary school, he passed through secondary school, he passed through NCE, and to some extent went for his B.Ed, but could not answer a primary 4 question. What kind of teacher is that? How can we have such teachers? We can't. That is the more reason why we said, let them go, and we employ. And people are ready to come and serve Kaduna State. They are ready to come and teach the innocent pupils in Kaduna State.
Okay, Madam Shehu Othman Sani, you said issue about being patient before rushing out to go on this strike. Well, let's assume the state government was patient actually before serving the letters as well to some of these teachers. Perhaps we don't get to this particular state that we have found ourselves. Now, is the state government ready to negotiate with the teachers now and actually to look into some of these areas, gray areas that you have raised, alongside with them to actually forestall some of the other things to come in the later days?
Negotiations are on, and the state government is ready to continue with the negotiations. I just told you that the Governor, His Excellency Malam Nasru, was there himself. Which of the governors do you think will do that, to go and sit down with labor unions to discuss this issue? But he magnanimously just decided to go there himself and explain things, you know. Of course, like I said, if they had been patient enough, I think we would have reached somewhere, definitely. But why? Because they are being sponsored to go and disrupt the government activities in the state? No, we will not allow that. We won't agree with that. And teaching must continue in our schools.
So let's get the views of Comrade Ango Adamo. Is the NUT in Kaduna ready to stand or sit at the table to negotiate? And from what happened yesterday, it will appear as if there's a complete shutdown of activities. What next are we expecting? Are you sitting down to negotiate? Have you been called into any form of negotiation?
Thank you, my sister. The issue is that anytime we as labor union leaders, we are not touts, we are not talks, we are not being sponsored by anybody. We are only carrying out our fundamental human rights, which the law and the Constitution of Nigeria gives us. But at any point in time, the government feel they should call us to table. We are always, our doors have been all open. But let me be categorical. The issue of being patient is that it is the Kaduna State government that has not been patient. And let me tell you about the issue. This issue has to do with integrity and the fear of God. Kaduna State government has not written these letters before the court injunction. God is our witness. And if they will fear their God, not trying to cover up a smoke screen, trying to do something, it is after the injunction that was given on the 14th of December. And the lawyers in the court who are defending Kaduna State did not say it in the court that there are, what they said even in the court was that Kaduna State has not said that they are going to dismiss this teacher. They only said that these teachers that have failed the test will be disengaged. So why now, after the 14th of December injunction, you will now come back and backdate? We have all this. That is why when our members were collecting the sack letters or disengagement letters, we asked them to sign at the back of their letters when they were given, the date and the time. And the person issuing also should also sign. This is what we are taking back to the industrial court as our evidence. Because you cannot come and tell people what you did not do. Why did it in the first place before we go to the court? If what they are saying is true, we went to the court on the 30th of October 2017. And then there was no letter given. We were there. The last time we were in court was 14th of December. And before 14th of December, there was no letter, one single letter was not issued to any teacher in Kaduna State. So Kaduna State government should be ready to tell the people the truth. We are not politicians, and I said we are not being sponsored. Nigerian Labour Congress is not sponsored under anything, and we are not politicians. We are not politicizing this issue. What we are saying is let the due process be followed. If these teachers are found to be failures, why did they fail? And have you ever gone to any state? Go everywhere in the world. Have you ever seen where you said that training is enough? Training is an ongoing thing, and you weed. And we said in trying to solve a problem, you don't compound it the more. It's just like somebody who is building and somebody who is destroying. If you want to destroy a building today, it will take you very few minutes you will destroy it. But for you to build it, it will take you more time than the one you use in the strength you use in destroying it. So let us take it gradually. We were thinking Kaduna State will be taking this thing systematically. Okay, let us see how we are doing. Who are these? What do we have? Do we have professional teachers who are, the minimum qualification is NCE? Okay, how many do we have? How many do we have that are not professionally trained as teachers? They'll start from there. If they train those ones that are not teachers, and they found out wanting, they can send them away. But those who are trained should be given training so that they will now be better in dispensing the knowledge to the pupils. So this issue is about posterity, and this issue is about the fear of God, and this issue is about following rules and regulation and due process. And why we are doing it and we are covered by law. Whatever we do, we don't go outside of what the principal law of law, the law establishing labor unions, the Labor Act. It says the last resort is to go on strike. And
Okay. Comrade Ango, well, thank you. We're pressed for time now. But just a question for Othman Sani of the Kaduna suburb. Malam Othman, let's take it from your perspective that, fine, the Kaduna state government through suburb has fired 21,000 teachers, which means right now 21,000 teachers are not teaching in your various classrooms. Have you employed new replacements for these 21,000?
Well, the 21,000 are still teaching in our classroom because the ultimatum given to them has not reached yet. We served these teachers in November, and we gave them 3 months in lieu of notice, and it is ending on the 4th of February this year, 2018. So they are still teaching. I was in some schools yesterday, and we go out since the resumption of this term. We go out both from the suburb headquarters and the LGAs around the state. We go out to monitor what is happening, and our teachers are always there. I thank God this time around he accepted that suburb has engaged the teachers in various types of training. What I want to call the attention of the general public is that if we could recall during the past government, for instance, the Yakowa administration, it was discovered that more than 4,000 teachers were unqualified to be in the classrooms. And these 4,000 teachers were given 3 or 4 years within which they must qualify. But most of them failed to qualify to be in the classroom. So this issue of disengaging teachers started long before now. It is only this government that came out boldly to sanitize the education in its attempt to reposition things in the state. That is why we try to find out why is teaching and learning not taking place, even if it is taking place, but why are the pupils not learning anything? That is why we said we must change the situation. And
well, thank you very much, Madam Othman Sani. For all Nigerians, we have reactions already. We'll run through them quickly and we'll wrap up the program for today. From Abdul Musa, we have this tweet: teacher strike in Kaduna State is ill-conceived. While I don't support in total the approach of the governor in handling the issue, the Nigerian Labour Congress should not encourage such lawlessness. Those that are not qualified to teach our children must give way.
Dele Jack Solomon has this tweet. It says, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers. Compromise is necessary on all sides, the Kaduna State government and NUT, to ensure resumption of normal academic activities in government schools. Speedy resolution of the crisis will prevent adverse disruption of the academic calendar.
Festus Akimboyewa tweets, kudos to NLC for being bold to protest yesterday. Kaduna State government and the police have no power in a democracy to ban NLC and any other labor group from using the power they have to make a stand. We should not allow those in power to delegitimize peaceful political protests anywhere in Nigeria.
And from Sani Michael Omakoje is this tweet. Despite the social engineering deployed by the governor, the workers still went ahead to press home their demand. It is a clear indication that power belongs to the people and that social engineering cannot always have its way.
Emmanuel Judge says, good-minded Nigerians must support teachers' strike in Kaduna to stop the excesses and abuse of law by Kaduna State government.
And lastly, also another one from Dele Jack Solomon. It says, according to Governor Nasir El-Rufai, quote, the children of the poor are the ones that attend public primary schools. We owe them a decent standard of education and we shall provide it, unquote. But, this is Dele Jack Solomon tweeting now, we want this to be done without politics, controversies, victimization, and due recourse to the law. All right, so those are the tweets that we have. We would like to express our appreciation to Two guests who joined us from our Kaduna Network studios. You can see them there. One to the left of your screen. Shehu Othman Sane is a principal member of the Kaduna State Universal Basic Education Board. That's SUBEB. That's the formal employer of teachers. It's fired 21,000 of them. Malam Shehu Othman Sane, thank you very much for being with us on the discussion segment today. And we also would like to appreciate Comrade Ango Adamo, who is in a war mood. Of course, they paralyzed activities in Kaduna yesterday. He's the secretary of NUT. That's Comrade Ango Adamo. Thank you for being part of our discussion this morning.
Thank you very much. We appreciate.
Let's go over now to our complementary segments. And we're taking sports.